Hare Krishna. So it's the 46th Shloka today, the final Shloka from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that is observing the armies. Let's begin it. Sanjay Uvacha Evam Uktvarjunah Sankhye Rathopastha Upavishat Visrujya Sasharam Chapam Shoka Samvigna Manasah. So here Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. So the scene goes that it's the last shloka. So in the previous shlokas we see Arjuna conveys everything he can to Krishna, the reasons he is not able to fight or that he doesn't want to fight. He gives up, and finally it is mentioned here that Arjuna keeps aside his bow and arrows and sits down in the chariot. His mind is overwhelmed with grief, right? So for the people who have been watching this series, from the complete first chapter would have got an idea about where the story is going and how the scene is, right? So Krishna and Arjuna being in the middle of the battlefield, and Arjuna finally giving up and deciding not to fight against his family members. Let's read the purport to get a more clear idea. While observing the situation of his enemy, Arjuna stood up on the chariot, but he was so afflicted with lamentation that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrows. Such a kind and soft-hearted person in the devotional service of the Lord is fit to receive self-knowledge. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to the first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So it was really a beautiful journey of the first chapter, and we'll be continuing with the second chapter also, that is the contents of the Gita summarized. And once again a big thank you for supporting for the whole series of the first chapter. We'll be starting with the second chapter also. So yeah, that's what. Stay connected for the further chapters also. Hare Krishna.